Really strange. Let me check on the stream. Stream's good here. So, I don't know why it's disconnecting. Hopefully it doesn't continue to do that. But, we'll see if it does or doesn't. Anyway, I mean, it may not have enough upload, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But regardless, we're just going to make a giant arc here and go with that and make a few quick sketches here and see what we can do. Just as a really rough format here. If that's 200 feet, we'll need probably at least 40 feet on the corners. Let's just do 40 feet. And another 40 feet. Another one. And that's good. So that's what we got. And we'll just do the other corners also, might as well. 40 feet. 40 feet. And 40 feet across the edge. This one's going to do the same thing. Oh, hold on. Just do that way. 40 feet. Shabam. Alright. So that looks kind of sweet. Because that's probably going to be for the pillars. Probably minimal to actually support this thing. And to get up into there, which is important. You may only have 2 entrances and exits on this sucker just to make the other stuff a little bit more clear. But we'll get to that after we do steel and stuff. So first of all, we're going to make a new layer here. And this is going to be the sketch layer. The early sketch layer, because that's important. And we're going to color it, let's do a nice light gray, I think should be good here. A light gray. A light white? A light white? Yeah, yeah, why not? That's fine. And we're going to move all this stuff to the early. I think we just select everything and just dump it in there. Right. Let's do entity info. Layer 1. Okay. Oh, this is going to be easy. Shabam. We're just going to move it over to there. Easy days, easy life. Alright, so we did that. Second, how big can we actually make the theater? Because it's not going to go too much over 200 feet. It could go 300 feet, but I don't think it's going to go much over 300 feet to actually do it. You know, I mean, how does something like that look? Well, let's draw it out really fast here. Let's go 300 feet. And let's make an arc, because we all know that arches are awesome. And actually, we could just make a circle. Let's just make a circle. Yeah. Let's just do it that way. Let's make the circle have a lot more nodes than just that many. Let's do entity info, because 12 segments is way too few with something that's spanning 300 feet. So let's just go with, how many segments would we want? 100? 100 segments? I mean, that's a lot of polys, but we're going to do it. 100 segments, and now it's going to be pretty smooth. Obviously, for a final drawing, you'd have many more than 100, because 100 over 300 feet gives you like 3-foot segments, which is not what you want. That's that. Okay, so that's fine. And then we're going to delete that half, and then this is what you get. And then what you can do is you can actually offset this sucker so that it goes down foot by foot, right? So what we do here is we offset it. Let's see, where's the, man, I'm a little bit rusty here, guys. I'm a little bit rusty. So 2-point arc, circle, where the hell's the offset button? Here we go. Offset, shabam. And we're gonna basically offset this thing by certainly not 16 feet. But if you think about an average stadium and how well they cram you in there, I think 2 feet is approximate. Looking up the actual number would be very, very trivial. So that's that, right? And then we offset the other one by 2 feet. And then we offset other one by 2 feet. And honestly, I think we just keep doing this, except for that. We don't want that. That was not an offset of 2 feet. And honestly, 300 feet, you're going to have one hell of a stadium here. That's a lot of seating. So that looks like it's pretty big. I'm not going to lie. So that's like 5 seats, and that's a lot of rows. I think that's probably not 100% accurate at this point, because we'd probably want it a little bit smaller and a little bit probably maybe rounder with less stuff on the top and bottom here. So slightly less angles and a little bit smaller. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to, and this is the really cool stuff, we can hide it. It's hidden. And then, instead of deleting it, we're going to be going over here a tiny bit. And we are going to be making 250 foot thing. And then we're going to make a circle like we did before. And we are also going to be clicking this once more with the entity info. Entity info pops up over here. We're going to do 100 segments. That's fine. 100 segments for half a thing is fine. And then we are going to look very closely at this, and we are going to actually, let's see here. We want the midpoint of this sucker. That's the center. That's fine. We're going to go 10. We're just going to go 50 feet over here. And then we're going to go 150 feet there. I'm actually going to reduce the angles here. So I'm going to rotate these ever so slightly. And it's totally going to work. So what we're going to do is rotate this sucker. It's the center point, and we're going to dump this over. Let's go with 15 degrees. And then we're going to get this sucker, and we are going to also rotate this 15 degrees. Shabam. And then we are going to move this. Well, actually, I guess we can just move both of them over there. And that should work. Shabam. And now it's, that might allow it to be a little bit better. And yeah, we're just going to trim off the excesses here. Now, with that said, we're going to have to figure out how often we want stair access. And I think for something this large, you'd want stair access quite often. And it's a matter of where you separate out the outermost points, because you're not just going to make the stairs thinner and thinner as it gets closer and closer to the center here. Also, we have to think about how much of a center area do we want, right? And then that'll make it even more look like a stadium. So it's not that hard. It's just a matter of how far do we want that. And one easy way to do that is to look at this here and see how far this goes out, right? So that's important. So if we only want a 60-foot staging area, 60 feet on either side, that's 120 feet on either side. If you're looking at a food court, so let's look at a food court real fast here. If you do 60 feet as a staging area, and let's just make this, let's go with 80 segments. Okay, so this is the staging area, right? And then if we zoom in here, that's how much is this thing? This thing's like 80 feet? No, 60 feet. We made it 60 feet, yeah. Okay, so this thing's 60 feet around. Let's just bump this up just a tiny bit so that we can see it. 1 foot up, bam, so that it's a little bit 3D. So that's 60 feet across. You know, if you look at a table, tables say 2.5 feet. Let's see, 2.5 feet, 3 feet, 3 feet, 3.5 feet, 4 feet. Let's say it's 4.5 feet. Okay. That's, pretty good. And then say, we want a center line on this sucker, unfortunately. So we're going to delete that. Going to do a line. We're going to do a 1 foot line. And then we are going to do the circle on that. That's 4.5 feet. Actually, no, that's the radius. We definitely, that's not the size of the table. 2.25 feet for the radius. And then we want the center to be maybe 4 inches, 3 inches, 6-inch radius. No, more like 2 inches, holding it together. And then we're going to delete some stuff here. Delete this, delete that. We're going to dump this down. Let's go with 3 feet. Doing crude measurements here, but that's okay. We're going to dump this up to 2 inches thick. And then we're going to raise that. But apparently it doesn't want to do it. So we're just going to make a new thing over here, because we can. And then that will be that. And actually that can just be deleted, I think. Maybe not. No, you cannot do that. Let's undo that. And then apparently well, let's look at the solid sketch here. Yeah, that's messed up. Yeah, see, it's all connected. I didn't group it very well here. Let's do it this way. There's like 16 different ways to do it. I'm just trying to think of the best way to do it here. Here. We will group it together under a center point here. Okay, so let's just make that. Let's do 2-inch. That's going to go up 2.75 feet after we delete this. And delete that too. Nope. We did inches there instead of feet. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to group this, shabam. And then we are going to find the center of this sucker, which, well, it really shouldn't be that hard. Shabam. That's a circle. This is already grouped, so anything I do to it is not going to affect it. We said that the table was going to be 4 feet across, so we're just going to make this. Let's move this other table over somewhere else. Let's move it over 10 feet so that's not in our way. And we are going to make a circle here of 2 feet. And then I'm going to reverse the face. And delete that. Raise this up 2 inches. And then we group this. And then we group both of them together. And then we see how many of these things fit on that thing. And it looks like, just looking at it, it's going to be a lot of them. That's a lot of area. That would be one hell of a food court. Exactly. So it doesn't have to be that big. It doesn't have to be that large at all, really. Again, we're making a market, theater, and market, theater, skyscraper, all in one. So we're just testing out the distances here. And it looks like the sizing might be right around absolutely correct on the About 200 feet. I mean, if you get 225 feet and you have it boxed in by all the necessary stuff, and then on the other side, um, you have pathways and everything, it might be about right. So, what we can do is we can sort of test that out a little bit here. So this is the 200-foot skyscraper, right? Obviously. Not tall, but wide. It's equivalent to the World Trade Center in width and length here. So one of the big things is seeing how the theater would combine with the other thing. So just so that people know what I'm trying to say here is, say you, let's see here, let's use this. So that's the theater, and this sucker, you know, goes up quite a bit, right? This thing goes up, goes around, right? And then it goes gradually down into the center. But obviously, it doesn't really have to go down to the center. It goes down to here, and then there's a platform around. Because there's a platform, you'd have a walkway on the backside of the stage. So if the walkway is there, then the walkway goes around. And then for the markets, you would have doorways. So let's just demarcate the doorways as black. So say you have a doorway here. These are really large too. There's no way that the doorways would be this large. There'd be like 40 doorways here. Then each doorway is a shop, right? So you have all these doorways, and then it goes up a level. So we'll demarcate that as, you know, teal. So then it goes up a level and down, and up a level and down, and up a level, right? Obviously not that high, because that would be like, 40 feet going up. There's no reason to have it go up that high. And the thing is that the theater is here because what you could do is you could do stairs on this terraced area. So if you're going to be doing stairs on this terraced area, they're going to have to be portable stadium seating. But that's only for a Coliseum 360 degree sort of stadium event. How often is that going to happen? I think probably often enough where you'd want it. And then for the stadium seating, you'd want something else. And obviously, this building is probably going to have to not be square. Square, I don't think is going to work whatsoever. It's going to have to be some combination of a really unique looking building, just to incorporate the different things in there. Architecture is function and form, and function trumps pretty much everything. Form is really important, but obviously you have to have a functional design. So that would be going around, and then that would be going up, and so on and so forth. Let's clear this off and see if we can't get some decent measurements down here. And we are going to look at this here, and we're going to see if we can't come up with some decent measurements. First of all, we're going to group this so this doesn't go anywhere. This is basically a good reference point, right? And this is an early sketch of what we want. So experimentation is crucial here. So let's say we want an oval. An oval might be sort of good here in terms of just what we get here. So let's make a line across to get the midpoint, because midpoints are awesome. And shabam, there's the midpoint, and we are going to go across here and just, that's 40 feet. That's 80 feet across. Is that really a large enough area? Do we want it to be not a circle, but instead something else? Certainly, I think there's benefits to having a circle here, and we can always change it later, but just for when we're sketching, let's just go with 40 feet and just go with it.